Turn the TV off upstairs. I probably won't hear it.
I don't hear it.
You don't hear it?
Well, now I can, because you're not talking. All right.
When I'm not talking. Okay. All right. Hi. Thanks for coming back. Or maybe you didn't come back. Maybe you're just here for the first time.
Thanks for joining us.
With tasting with Ron and Lorraine.
Yes.
So we're going to go ahead and taste a couple wines
I'm
tonight.
Lorraine, and this is Ron. I am the owner of a little store called Vino Latte. It's a gourmet coffee shop, eatery, and wine boutique in Wausau, Wisconsin. And Ron is my husband. So we are not experts in wine. We just are very much enjoy drinking wine and hoping to share a little with you tonight and maybe going forward.
Well, certainly going forward after this one, because we're doing another one right away.
Not tonight. I mean, not on this. We're going to do 2 separate videos.
Okay. So, again, sort of the point of these is to taste a little bit of wine, share our thoughts, give you some ideas for food pairing, talk about a little bit of regions, a little bit of grapes, a little bit of education, a little bit of winemaking. Nothing super in-depth. Lorraine said she wants to keep these short, so like 5 minutes, she said, which is...
That's quick.
It's not going to be possible, really.
Because Ron talks way too much.
Yep. So tonight's wine, would you like to talk about it?
So tonight's wine is a Picpoul de Pinet. Isn't that a cool way, or a cool grape? Picpoul. Le Jade. It's probably not pronounced correctly because it's probably French, and I don't speak French. Le Jade is the winery it is a Picpoul de Pinet from France.
Le Jade is actually the name of the wine. The winery is actually, because I've got the text sheet.
Oh yes, I'm sorry.
Is the Les Kysela de Pomerals, which is in the Languedoc-Roussillon area. It is actually a cooperative winery.
What does that mean?
So a cooperative winery is where a whole bunch of growers, owners of property, people who may have produced wine on their own, but they join forces in a cooperative, just like a farm cooperative or something, so that they can utilize a central production area and distribution and all of those things to sort of capitalize on not having to own all that stuff on your own. A lot of wine regions have been cooperative style. In this area, I think this is a 350-ish or so member, so like 350 individual growers and everything belong to the cooperative.
So individual wineries, or are not all of them wineries?
No, they're not wineries. The winery is, like I said, the Kysela de Pomerals, but the winery is the central location where all the growers bring their grapes so that they don't have to be a winery.
Okay.
Does that sort of make sense? I mean, there's a lot. I mean, if you looked at South Africa had cooperatives, that was a little bit more of a government mandate and like big politics. But there's other places where it just doesn't make sense to have your own.
Because it's expensive.
It's expensive to have your own winery. But this one's huge. I mean, there's like a ton of property that the grapes sort of all come from to make this wine. This is imported by a gentleman named Fran Kysela. Kysela Pere is his importing company. Fran's a great guy. We've met him, know him a little bit, traveled with him, but he works with a lot of smaller producers around the world and sort of goes and picks out wines and tastes and sort of has them stylistically produce things that he'd like to import and show the U.S. at super reasonable prices. And this is a perfect example of that. So Picpoul de Pinet, the grape is Picpoul. De Pinet is the region, and it's only, Picpoul de Pinet is only produced in Languedoc-Roussillon. Now, Picpoul, the grape, is grown all over the place. It's grown in Rhone Valley. There's also a...
That's the dog.
No, the dog's whining.
Yeah, I can hear her. I didn't feed her yet.
I don't know if you can hear her. She wants
Hopefully
to eat.
not. If it gets really bad, I'll go feed her.
There is a red and a white, a blanc and a noir Picpoul, and they are used as blending, or authorized, I won't say used, authorized as blending grapes in the Rhone Valley, Châteauneuf-du-Pape specifically, but the amount that's planted there is minuscule, so you won't see it on a label particularly. It's also grown in other places.
Picpoul? Or what?
Picpoul.
You won't see Picpoul on a label?
You won't generally, it's so little, and it's so, I mean, there's only like
But this is Picpoul.
in the Rhone Valley.
Oh,
Well, like on a Chateauneuf de Pape, you're not going to see the grape listed.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, you were not clear.
I was. I think they're going to find it perfectly clear. I was talking about the Rhone Valley.
I was probably listening to the dog whine.
Right. She wasn't listening to me. Typical. But Picpoul's also grown in Texas, in the Texas Hill Country, and the other AVA is the High Plains AVA. It's grown in Sonoma. It's grown in, I think, Australia. They're growing some of it. It's grown all over the world. It's grown in actually Arizona, in the Wilcox AVA in southern Arizona. Did I say Arizona or Australia? Arizona.
Well, you said Australia too.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's grown in Arizona, which is interesting, kind of cool.
Yeah.
There's wine country everywhere.
Which is interesting and kind of cool. So, on the nose, what do we get?
So Picpoul is, the name means lip stinger because it's typically very high in acid. So it's very zippy and tangy. Stone.
Smells, I was going to say I get a lot of salinity and a lot of lemon and
I get like wet stone, like river stone, or like a flat rock, like you'd find at Lake Superior.
and I also, yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a wet stone.
Yeah, and it's in like clay and limestone soils. Some people say that does or doesn't add to it. I think it personally does. Classic pairings: seafood, oysters.
On the palate, yes, very acidic, lemon with a touch of candy. Like I get like a sweet tart candy, touch of that, yummy, it's good.
But not the sweet part,
Not the sweet,
right? Just like
the essence of the candy. Also get a little fruit, pear. I would think more pear than peach. No apricot, so I would say that means probably pear. Honey, a little honey.
maybe it's just my first sip, but it's very, very acidic, very puckery. Like get a little
Lip stinging.
lip stain, a little bit of like little pucker. Right?
Lemon? Lemony?
No, just that acidic sort of where the insides of your cheeks kind of tighten up and
Yeah.
slight pucker. Not lemon like the flavor, just the.
You don't get lemon the flavor though? Or what are you
I don't
getting?
really. No, I'm getting just a lot of stone, a lot of flinty, a lot of. I'm not getting a lot of fruit.
So you're getting the same thing that you got on the nose.
Yeah, very much so.
So I'm getting pear and lemon and honey.
And this is a 2022. I think that's what the bottle said. Yes, 2022. 13% alcohol by volume.
And actually, my second taste, I think is more lime than lemon that I'm getting. Almost a little grapefruit. But that could be just because it's puckery, and so those are what my mind thinks of. So it's good. Classic pairing, I think Ron mentioned. Sorry
Oysters.
about that. Oysters, seafood. I don't eat oysters.
Mediterranean food.
Yes. Very nice. Light.
Let's see if there's
Light,
anything
but
else.
not like watery. Little body, not too much. A little bit going on there.
Tasting notes say ripe, juicy pears,
Oh.
fruit and zippy acidity, no malolactic fermentation, which you can imagine with the high level of acidity, no ML where malic acid turns to lactic acid. So malic acid, crisp, apple type acid. You know, that,
I'm sorry. It is.
figuring out how to trill, are you?
Sorry, no. Apologies. I obviously swallowed a little wrong. But that's okay. I can go feed the dog and cough off camera.
Not really a lot else on the taste sheet.
Nope.
Little skin maceration for several hours. So it's like a cold soak, skin maceration, bring the grapes in, keep them at a controlled temperature so they don't start fermentation. And the skin will add textural components and characteristics to the wine. And you get the little bit in the mouthfeel, I think. Like there's a little something residual.
Well, I said it wasn't too light.
Right.
So yes, that could be what, yeah. But
Okay.
stop in at your local favorite coffee shop and wine boutique, Vino Latte, or hopefully another little wine boutique.
And if you can't find the Jade, there's lots of producers that make Picpoul de Pinet. Check them out. Stylistically, they're very much the same across the board. Some of them, maybe a little bit brighter or darker or more acidic, less acidic, but they're all very similar. It's a really nice wine. It's
Great wine for summer.
great wine for summer. We're not quite there yet, but soon.
But almost 60 degrees today in Wausau in February. So,
That's stupid. It's like
All right.
April. I also heard, on a weather-related note, everybody loves this warm weather, but it's really not good for things. I heard
No, it's
today
not.
that the Wisconsin DNR is already like way ahead of wildfire, like wildland fires, things like that. They're already burning bans and burning warnings so as to not start fires because of all the dry conditions, no snow cover,
so
winds.
enjoy the beautiful weather because it's not good for anything else, including probably growing grapes.
Well, let's hope that, even in here, let's hope that we don't have things start to bloom and then we get a hard
Right?
frost.
That'd be terrible.
That'd be terrible. It's going to kill grass, kill bud, flowers, all sorts of things.
So, yes.
Yep.
All right.
We're going to have a great,
On that note-
great mosquito season.
If you stay tuned, we are going to do the Terlato and Chapoutier S Black Shiraz next. But until then,
Cheers.
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 I'm empty.
You're not supposed to cheers an empty glass. Don't pour much because we're doing another video.
I can drink. Cheers.
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 Thank you.